23 points, though, still remains the gap between City and Liverpool. When you see these sort of performances from City, you've got to wonder, Craig, why? Why is there such a big gap? Why have City dropped so many points this season?
Because they've made too many mistakes. Captain calamity at the back. You saw the game against Chelsea a week or so ago. Gundogan and Mendy getting in the mess. We had that partnership of Otamendi and Stones today, two players that have struggled for various reasons. They've struggled in the left-back position. You've had Fernandinho moving out his midfield role into the back four. Okay, Rodri's come in and he's a very, very good player. But they've just made too many mistakes. And they are so gung-ho. They are so gung-ho going forward that they get caught. They get caught out because they don't have enough players switched on when they're attacking. They don't have enough players switched on defensively. And so we know there's not a 23-point gap really between the teams in terms of the squad, but there is in terms of the league table, and that's something that Guardiola and the board will have to address in the summer transfer window, whenever that is. And I think they will. But look, we know going forward they can carve any team in the world open, and that's why they are, I think, still favourites for the Champions League in its cropped format.
Are they going to buy a defender, Jules?
Yes, they will. I expect them to buy a centre-back for sure, and John Stones probably will leave the club as well this summer. And Eric Garcia might do too as well and go back to Barcelona. But yeah, a centre-back for sure. A left-back, probably. You would even think a right-back, they need someone else because Joao Cancelo hasn't worked out. Kyle Walker is already in his 30s and certainly not looking at his best or the best version of him that we've seen in previous seasons. So they need to strengthen at the back. I think Pep knows it. And whether it's Koulibaly or Skriniar, or it would be one of players with that kind of caliber as centre-backs especially. So Craig is right, too many mistakes, and Guardiola summed it up really well after the Southampton defeat a few days ago. He said, this is our season. It's exactly that. We make a mistake, we get punished, Zinchenko in that occasion, and then we have loads of chances and we don't score because they haven't been efficient enough in the box in some games either, scoring wise, and that cost them dearly too.
It's interesting, Dan, because he almost sees fullbacks as, arguably the most important position in his team. Because if you remember when he got the job, it was one of the first things that he did the surgery on was the right and left backs, because they do play such a prominent role. We see them tucking into the midfield when they've got possession. We see them playing as wingers like a lot of the midfielders, a lot of the full-backs do these days. But they probably get as much possession as anybody in the City side. So whilst he'll definitely be chasing a centre-back, if not two, if the full-backs are not performing to how he wants them, his whole philosophy starts to creak a little bit and starts to struggle. So watch out, as Jill said, for him being in the market potentially for one, if not two.
Meanwhile, Stevie, the Liverpool game was pretty much over.
Dan, can I ask Jill something? Because we listen to Guardiola in his press conferences from behind the box, basically, and it's very hard to get the real feeling. And I listened to Jules there saying that, well, Pep said afterwards, we make a mistake and we get punished, right? Does he believe that they're making a mistake and getting punished? Because if he thinks that, he's kidding himself on. They're making 3 and 4 mistakes and maybe only losing 1 goal. And the 3 and 4 mistakes that his team are making is what keeps the other teams fighting as long as they can because they think they're going to get a chance. Does he really believe that they're just making a mistake? Whenever you sit and talk to him face to face or listen to him in a press conference.
No, he does, Stevie, and I think that's the thing with Guardiola. It's very Guardiola-esque if you think about it, that when you lose a game away at Southampton, it's easy to say, oh, we made 1 mistake and they scored. As in, like, this is a freak of a result because 1 mistake and we get punished. The other big teams, they can make more mistakes and they don't get punished the way we do. And same, I guess, going forward for the lack of scoring despite all the chances. And it's almost never, one, it's never his fault anyway. And 2, as you very rightly pointed out, is he only sees 1 mistake and a goal straight after, when there's actually very often more than 1 mistake. They get punished once, and it happens in football, I guess. And in that occasion, it was a great goal by Che Adams. But there was other opportunities as well for Southampton. And I think maybe one of the issues as well of City's very average season in the league is that Guardiola has been kidding himself in a way, like you've just said, about exactly what they do wrong that then cost them to drop points, and what they do right and don't get those points, because there's clearly more than one mistakes in some of the games they've lost, and that's why he really struggled to rectify as well from one game to another. Because if you look at the thread of the season from a City point of view, those mistakes have been there from day one until now, until Southampton a few days ago, not tonight, but in the last game before tonight, and he's never corrected that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.